Hey guys, welcome. I'm just going to be reading some proverbs today. This is helpful for me as well, so I'm just going to record it because I want to do this anyway. So if I can share what I'm learning and it's a benefit to you, then hallelujah. So I was looking at this a little bit yesterday as well and just trying to understand what Proverbs 9 is teaching. And the title of it is Invitations of Wisdom and Folly. And some things I noticed about this psalm is there's two personifications in this. One represents Lady Wisdom, and then the other one represents Lady Folly. And they're both calling out from high points in the city. And they're both calling to people, and it's like, and they're giving invitations, like Wisdom saying come, foolishness is saying come. And we really only have two choices, is like to live by wisdom, the things that come from God, or foolishness, the things that don't come from God, right? It's really kind of cut and dry, and both voices are very loud. Like wisdom is very loud if your heart is in a certain posture, and foolishness is very loud if your heart is in a certain posture. And I feel like the key to that is found, one verse sticks out in this, and it's verse 10. It says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." So before you understand wisdom, before you can enter into wisdom, you have to have a fear of the Lord. And a lot of people won't understand that. Like, oh, why should we fear the Lord? Like, if you see the Lord correctly, you should have a healthy fear of him, like a reverent respect for God. And, for me, I've seen this shape out in my life. Like when I didn't have a fear of the Lord, I didn't, sorry, one of my buddies walked by, but when I didn't walk in the fear of the Lord, I didn't walk in wisdom. The more that I walk in the fear of the Lord, the more I take his wisdom seriously, the more I fear being without him in his wisdom, right? So that's kind of my point. So I just wanted to highlight a couple things as I share this. So we have two choices, and the decision is ours to walk in wisdom, or listen to wisdom, or listen to foolishness, right? They're both calling. So it says, wisdom, verse 1, wisdom has built her house. She has set up 7 pillars. So 7 is like the number of completeness, right? It's in the Bible. 7 days. There's a lot of references to 7 years. It's like a fullness. It's like complete. So it's kind of a powerful number. It says, she has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her servants, and she calls from the highest point of the city, that all those who are simple come to my house. So I feel like that invitation, is like everything's already set. Everything, the house is in order. Wisdom has prepared everything. And the invitation goes out like, come, if you want to enjoy these things that wisdom has prepared for you, like come and learn, like come in fellowship with wisdom, come in learn of it, right? And it goes on to kind of break that down a little bit. It says, to those who have no sense, come, eat my food, and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways, and you will live. Walk in the way of insight. So wisdom gives us insight. Wisdom gives us life, right? So that's the invitation of wisdom. Like the wisdom of God safeguards life, it protects life, and eventually when you possess enough wisdom, other people start coming to you for it. And I'm not saying it's your wisdom, like God's giving you the wisdom, but like it eventually is able to safeguard life for others, even, and protect life, to grow, to nourish. Wisdom nourishes. Like there's a lot of really good benefits to wisdom. And if we're willing to ask God for it, he says he'll pour it out for us. So then verse 7, it says, whoever corrects a mocker invites insults. Whoever rebukes the wicked incurs abuse. Do not rebuke mockers, or they will hate you. Rebuke the wise, and they will love you. So a person that is bent on foolishness, that is pursuing foolishness, doesn't even want to hear wisdom because they won't consider it. Right? So you'll see this in your life. There's some people who are at a certain heart posture to receive wisdom, and then there's some that want nothing to do with wisdom. And I could see this in my own life when I was, set on doing the wrong thing. I didn't want to be around people who were speaking soundly to me, who were giving me wisdom, because I wasn't following it. I wasn't wanting to follow it. And so just hearing that, it makes you like kind of lash out towards it. So this is kind of like a warning not to correct a mocker. You're going to invite insults and abuse on yourself, and people will hate you for it. So you have to be sensitive to who's open to wisdom and who's not. And then it says, instruct the wise, and they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning. So a certain heart posture is like with correction, right? If you're being corrected as a wise person, and the correction is true, guess what? You just got wiser, because a wise person will listen to someone's correction, and if it's wisdom, they're going to take that for themselves. Not so with a fool. A fool will not accept wisdom. It's too high for them. It's too lofty for them. They can't understand it, right? And it's something about our heart posture. It's humility. Like the Bible says that with the humble there is wisdom. Like a humble heart is a heart that can receive from God. God resists the proud and gives grace to the humble. So there's a lot of like principles that go into this. Excuse me. But yeah, that's just something that makes me, this Proverbs is making me think about like our choices, between wisdom and foolishness, and also about heart posture. So, like I said, in verse 10, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. So this is the benefit of wisdom here. It says, for through wisdom your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. If you are wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you are a mocker, you alone will suffer. So that's like someone who scoffs at wisdom, who mocks the wisdom of God. They're going to suffer for that, because they are rejecting the wisdom that adds days to your life. And they're not getting the reward that comes with wisdom. Like I said, wisdom sustains, cultivates, safeguards life. That's like something I feel like God has shown me through Proverbs, is like this principle is, repeated over and over if you look at it from the right angle. So it's saying with wisdom, we will receive a reward which comes in the balance of like life-giving or even years to our life. And then it says, if you're a mocker, you alone will suffer, because you're not going to receive the rewards that wisdom offers. Like it goes up to the first couple of verses where it says that wisdom has prepared like a table, And it's it reminds me of other scriptures, Like you set a table for me in the presence of my enemies. Like setting the table means it's prepared, right? It's like that's something that God offers us. Yeah, it reminds me of Jesus when he says, when he's inviting people that are heavy burdened to take his yoke upon him and learn from him, because he's humble and lowly in spirit, right? It's like he's inviting us to come and learn, right? This is an invitation. It's always like that with God. He's inviting us into his wisdom and into life. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but Jesus comes to give life and life more abundantly. It's in John 10:10. So that was the part about wisdom. And now it's going to talk a little bit about folly. It says, folly is an unruly woman. She is simple and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house on a seat at the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by, who go straight on their path. Let all who are simple come to my house. To those who have no sense, she says, stolen water is sweet. Food eaten in secret is delicious. But little do they know that the dead are there, that her guests are deep in the realm of the dead. So foolishness is inviting you to come, just like wisdom is, except for the difference is foolishness is inviting you to death. Wisdom is inviting you to life, right? So it's the two choices. It comes down to, we're either listening to God or Satan. It's like the foolishness or wisdom. It's like everything is very dualistic, and the choice is ours, because both are inviting us. And man, that just reminded me of the verse that talks about we can't drink from the cup of demons and eat at the Lord's table at the same time. It's like, we can't be living in wisdom and foolishness at the same time. You have to choose, and you have to walk in the fear of the Lord to really be listening to the wisdom that's calling out, God who's calling out all the time. Because if you're not set on that, you're going the other way, towards death. So the thing about wisdom is, this just kind of came to me, wisdom doesn't really appeal to our flesh very much. It's like, normally you don't find really young wise people, because wisdom isn't appealing to our flesh. And it's like a lot of times the people who are older have been taught over time, or those are the ones that chose wisdom and that's why they're old, right? Because there's a lot of foolish mistakes we can make when we're young that can take our life from us. I see that a lot with my line of work. And friends dying young because of poor choices, not using wisdom. So this is a very real thing. It's kind of poetic how this is written, but if you think about it, this is all very true. It's hard to deny that we have two choices, wisdom or foolishness, and they have a real effect that you can see and you have seen. Look around the people that have died. living foolish lives. And then also look at the people who walk in wisdom and they have a different type of life. You know, so that's just stuff that I saw with this proverb. If you guys got anything else, drop it in the comments. It's helpful for me because every day I have to choose this. I have to choose to walk in the fear of the Lord. I have to choose to walk in the wisdom that God gives us and not go back to living in a way that I'm being foolish and I'm listening to things that are telling me, oh, live for today, live for, you know, the gratification of yourself. Like, if you use wisdom, those things don't appeal as much to you anymore. If you walk in the fear of the Lord, those short-term, I don't even want to call them, they're not benefits, you know, illusions. The illusions, they have more of a pull on you. So just be aware that today, you know, you can walk in wisdom and you can walk in the fear of the Lord and not in foolishness. And by doing that, you're adding days to your life. Yeah. So that's what I got. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.